our Malae audience, and especially to our fellow Samoans. I'll leave it to you to introduce yourself for our audience, please.
My name is Natalia Nuu, and I'm a pharmacist at Hillsborough Pharmacy.
Natalia, you're one of a very rare species, being a pharmacist and being Samoan. How did you arrive at this decision to be a pharmacist?
I always liked science at school, and I also like helping people and interacting with people. So when I finished school, I decided to study science at university, but it wasn't until I got a job working at a pharmacy in the summer that I worked with a really good pharmacist in Mount School, and he just convinced me to go back to university, and become a pharmacist. So here I am.
Now you know why we're here today, because we've seen you with your lots of hair, and now you have, is this number one? Yeah. Number one? Yeah. Would you like to tell our audience as to why you did what you did with your hair? What's the purpose behind it? Who benefits? And did you have a special person in mind that made you do it?
So every year they have an event called Shave for a Cure.
Shave for a Cure.
Shave for a Cure. So it's a fundraising event for, particularly for leukemia and blood cancers. So that's Leukemia and Blood Cancer New Zealand. And people, you can register with them, and then you shave your hair, and as part of that people sponsor you. So you're raising money which goes towards their fundraising efforts, which help them with education, support, all sorts of support that they can offer to people and their families that are affected by leukemia and blood cancer. So in particular, I decided to do it for my dad, Natalia Nuu, who passed away from bowel cancer in 2009. But I also wanted to, so I dedicated the shave to him, so it was quite emotional. But also to recognise all that I have, we all know people and are affected, who are affected by cancer, that, either they personally have cancer or they know someone who's going through that battle. So I just wanted to do it in support of them. It's just shaving my hair, it'll grow back, but a lot of people are going through a hard time, so it's just a nice way to show your support for people. And especially being a pharmacist, quite often people come in and they've just been diagnosed with cancer, or they're going through their treatment.
You get to hear the stories.
Yeah, so many people are touched by cancer, and I thought it was just a nice thing to support, and then just raise awareness as well as some money.
Awesome. Did you have to look for sponsors, or the organisation looked for sponsors?
I had to look for sponsors myself, but it wasn't hard to find. A lot of most of the sponsors were my friends and family. I have an aunt and an uncle that are both cancer survivors, so they were very generous with their donation. And also the customers at Hillsborough Pharmacy, nearly a third of the money that I raised came from just people who come to the pharmacy, just giving a little bit and supporting me. So it's very touched, it's very humbling.
Are we allowed to ask how much you raised?
It's close to 3,500.
Wow, 3,500.
So I didn't think I would get that much, but it's very humbling to know that so many people want to donate and support, and it's very humbling.
Natalia, as a Samoan and as a pharmacist, was it easy for you to enter into the profession? If I may use the term profession.
Yes, yeah. Yes.
I know there's another word, fraternity.
Yes, It was, they do have an admission scheme, and because I went to the University of Auckland, there's also, you can also go, attend the pharmacy school at the University of Otago, but I attended Auckland. But they have a Maori and Pacific admissions scheme. So there's a Maori and Pacific admissions scheme, which sets aside a number of places for Maori Pacific students to gain admission into the School of Pharmacy. So that's how I gained admission. I was also a returning student, so I'd already completed a Bachelor of Science. So that was part of my application, so I just had to get in.
How long did it take you to do the pharmacist training?
It's a 4-year degree and then a 1-year internship. So once you graduate, you have to go and work under
So
the
after you did your Bachelor's of Science, you had to do another 4 years?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dedication from you.
Yeah.
Time-wise.
Yes, yeah. At the time, it was a big decision because once I finished my Bachelor of Science, I hadn't really decided on my career yet. But like as I said, working at that the pharmacy over the summer was what convinced me to go back to university. So, but once I realised that I had a real passion for pharmacy, it didn't seem so bad going back for another 4 years.
Natalia, a lot of the Malae audience were probably around my age, mature people, but what message would you like to give these parents regarding their children in line with your field of work?
Do you mean in terms of
being a pharmacist?
Being a pharmacist?
And being Samoan and being a pharmacist.
Yeah. It's a very rewarding profession. So, and it's nice to be in a position where I can help all sorts of people, and like the majority of our customer base are because young people don't get very sick. So they'd be in your age group, and so it's really I find it very rewarding to be able to serve the community and serve our people, with in terms of help and advice, and then also maybe as a role model for their children, and younger people coming up looking for a career, looking for guidance. Pharmacy is it's a great profession. It's a very rewarding career path. And it does take a bit of work, it takes a bit of time, but I would encourage anyone, if they're interested in it, then to go for it, and encourage your children to just to study. Studying anything is going to get you far. Yeah.
Were there any tears when the fresh shaver went through the head?
From my mum, yes.
She cried.
She
Mum
cried.
cried.
She did, yeah.
Where was the head shaving done?
It was just done here, actually. It was just done outside. Yeah. My uncle is a hairdresser, so he shaved it for me. So Uncle Davey, yeah. So that was good. It was nice having family, and so we invited a few, people to come and join the shaving. But a lot of them were family and friends, so it was very nice to just very nice atmosphere.
Shave for a cure. And the money that's raised goes towards helping families of people with cancer.
Yes, and just helping with education and research, and it's a nice charity. Yeah, their website shaveforacure.co.nz or .org.nz.
So this is a yearly event?
A yearly event, yes.
Yeah. Anyone else in the audience who will be so inclined to shave for a cure coming up, February, March?
It's normally the middle of March they have the shave.
March. And so if they go into the website, they'll be able to get the
Yes, all the information. If they just search for Shave for a Cure.
Shave for a Cure, one word?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, should be right. I think you're right.
You're a young woman. Would I be fair to say to the audience that you're available, eligible and available? Or have you been spoken for?
Not spoken for, no.
Not spoken for. There you are. Any young man out there? We're not looking for Mr. Lava Lava, we're looking for Mr. Right.
Yes. And if you like short hair.
Someone? Would you like for them to be someone?
Preferably, yes.
Preferably. Someone young man. Yeah. We've got a young Samoan lady here who is independent, has the means and the profession. Yeah. Come by. Who knows, you might need cough mixture or a moisturizer for your contact lenses. Just call in. You never know what else is in the shop unless you come in. Natalia, being New Zealand born, did you feel Samoan all the way through, or did you feel more Polynesian than Samoan?
I think thanks to my parents, I probably have the best of both worlds. So I always identify myself as Samoan, first and foremost, you know. And I think because both my parents grew up and spent most of their lives in Samoa, I would always say that I'm Samoan. But growing up in New Zealand obviously is completely different to growing up in Samoa. So yeah, unfortunately my Samoan is not very good, so that's something I have to work on. But I still identify myself as Samoan, and yeah, it's good.
Are you aware of the another group of Samoans where a lot of New Zealand born Samoans are saying that they don't belong to the Samoan community, that they're different?
Yeah.
Are you aware of that, and what do you think of it?
Not me personally. I can understand that disconnect because I know a lot of Samoan-born, New Zealand-born Samoan have never actually been to Samoa, and I might have felt a bit like that before I went back to Samoa, and it wasn't until I was in my early 20s that was the first time I went back to Samoa. But once I got there and I saw what Samoa is really like, because obviously you come to New Zealand, you adjust to the way New Zealand works and the culture here, but once I went to Samoa and I saw the way Samoans live and got in touch with it felt like home. I got there and it was I felt like I was home even though it was my first time there. So I think that's what I always advise to anyone who feels that disconnect. I always say, go to Samoa, go see your family, go see the way Samoans live, and then maybe you'll feel it and want to keep along. Yeah.
Because that's a dilemma I'm having working in the community and in many cases consulting with government departments. We found that the government wants to hear about things from Samoans, their opinions, and then there's this other sector of the New Zealand-born Samoans who are saying, no, we're not Samoans. It saddens me because I have 5 children who were all born in New Zealand, and I don't see that with them.
No.
They don't even say they're like you. And I'm quite encouraged that there are young people like you and my children who don't think otherwise.
No.
They just think themselves as Samoans.
I think sometimes it's hard though because the Samoans in New Zealand, having come over to this country and having to, like when my parents came, which is probably the same time you came, it wasn't so widely accepted being Samoan. You know, there were, I mean, not, you know, it was...
A lot of negative connotations.
Yeah, you know, a lot of you know, barriers that you had to push past to get to a point where now we have whole festivals that celebrate, you know, being Pacific and all the different cultures in New Zealand. But, you know, back in the 80s and this, you know, back then it was harder to kind of push past that. But maybe a lot of young people today, because they're not so aware of that, you know, the kind of, not struggle, but just the barriers that were there for their parents and their grandparents. They had that disconnect. They just kind of feel like, you know, we've always been an accepted part of society, but you know, that took time, and it took you know, your generation and my parents to kind of, you know, put us on the map and, you know, make us mainstream part of New Zealand society.
Stereotyping Samoans as belonging in the factory and always with a tendency to crime.
Yes, yeah.
How did your friends, maybe your parents, like your mom being a music teacher, oh, here's a Samoan, of a Samoan being a music teacher, had that in New Zealand, and then your father will ask you the next question after that.
I suppose we were just different, you know. I think I never felt different, you know. Like I had a lot of, you know, Samoan, Tongan friends at school, but I don't know. You just kind of feel like you obviously you gravitate towards people like you, but I don't know that we were ever treated differently or we behaved differently. Maybe I'm not sure. But I think my parents maybe were a little bit different in kind of helping us kind of negotiate your way through that, you know, being set apart as Samoan, but still, you know, making your way in New Zealand society, you know, because obviously you know, they moved here for us to, you know, have more opportunities, and the opportunities come with, you know, assimilating, becoming part of, you know, instead of segregating yourself, you have to join in and be part of it. So it's a hard one, yeah.
Natalia, you did this for your dad, for your late dad. Do you want to tell us a bit about your father?
Yeah, so
especially his profession.
Yes.
Because I'm sure now we can talk about it.
So my father was Natalia Nuu, and he was just the second Samoan policeman in New Zealand. His first was his brother Ivan. But he was probably the first Samoan speaking Samoan in New Zealand, and he was when he retired from the police, he was a detective sergeant. But in his career, he worked on a lot of high-profile cases. He was considered one of New Zealand's top policemen. He was a detective with the CIV. He also helped run the Onehunga police station for a while. But yeah, I think like my passion for my career comes a lot from him. That he was very passionate about you know, police work and helping people, and yeah, so he's a real inspiration to me. He's probably I would say he was my best friend. So when he passed away in 2009, it was hard for all of our family, but he was just a very wise and intelligent gentleman. You know, he was very noble, and I feel very privileged that he was my father. And you know, being a policeman and stuff like that, it's just yes, yeah, helping people.
You know, when you see him in his uniform, were you scared for him, or were you proud of him?
I didn't actually see him in his uniform very much. I think he was only in uniform for a short time, but just proud, yeah. I've seen the photographs, and yeah, it's just you can, you know, put the brown face in the class. He actually he topped his class at police school. So yeah, so that was down in Trentham. So just very proud. I think policemen, they have a special place in heaven. They really put this, they
They gave
themselves.
their lives.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and to protect people, and so very proud of my father. What he's given to supporting our family and giving us the opportunities that we, luckily that he gave me the opportunity to get to university and become a pharmacist, and then for my sister to, get to university and become an accountant. So,
Awesome.
yeah, so it's, pride. It's probably there.
Did any of Mum's musical talents rub off on you?
Not really.
What do you play? Do you play any instruments?
I play a little bit of piano, a little bit of guitar, and a little bit of the flute. But she'll tell you I don't practice, which is why she gave up on teaching me. My sister is probably more the musician. She can play the flute and the piano a lot better than me. But it's all about practice, she tells everyone, and I never practice. So.
Natalia, just refresh our memories again with the name of this particular course that you shaved your hair for.
Yes, so it's Shave for a Cure, and it's
Cure.
for leukemia and blood cancer New Zealand.
Why do you think this leukemia is almost like an epidemic now?
It seems so.
Do they know what causes leukemia?
Well, it's because it's a cancer of your blood, so a lot of it originates in your bone marrow. So I'm not very that well.
Like, is it the food that we eat that causes it, or
it's very hard to
virus,
say.
or what?
I don't know. They're still doing a lot of research to try and see what causes it, what we can do to kind of avoid, or reduce our risk. I mean, with age, we always, and I think our lifestyles and our environment, there's all sorts of things that can contribute to these sorts of things. But at the end of the day, it's I'm not sure really what we can do. But one of the other things that I learnt about was the bone marrow registry, which is what if you go to donate blood, they often ask if you'd like to go on the bone marrow registry. So sometimes a bone marrow transplant is a way to treat and sometimes cure, well, not quite cure, leukemia. Because sometimes it's your bone marrow is not making the right blood cells, or your blood cells aren't being made properly. So if you get a bone marrow transplant, sometimes that can help, people with leukemia. So one of the big problems they have is they don't have enough Pacific Island donors. Yeah, because we're such a small part of the global community. There's only a few of us. When it comes to bone marrow matching, if you're not a direct match with your family or your close family, the next best thing is to find someone of your ethnicity. But there are a lot of young people that they can't find matches for, obviously, because there aren't
Not very many
Pacific Island donors. Yeah, I mean, I just joined the registry last year, so I heard about it.
Wow. Perhaps that is something we can take to the community in Auckland.
Yes,
To consider, because they never know. It can be a niece and a nephew the next day who would need the bone marrow.
And it doesn't hurt. All they do is they take an extra blood sample, and then they test it, and then they keep your sort of your profile on the computer, and then if someone comes up that they think might be a match for you, then they'll test it to see if you're a match, and then it goes on from there. So it's a bit involved if you have to, if you are a match with someone. But just, I mean, it's a small operation if you can help save a life, really.
Natalia, I know that besides losing your hair, you've also lost some weight. Do you want to tell us about it, please?
Yes.
Why you wanted to lose weight and how you lost the weight.
So probably at the end of 2012, I went to see the doctor, and my blood pressure was. I'm 33 years old, and my blood pressure was starting to get a bit high, which is I suppose it runs in my family. My father had high blood pressure, but it was sort of the wake up call that at the time I was about 120 kilograms, which is big. I think it was the wake up call that maybe it was about time I started doing something to look after myself. Also with my dad passing away, not quite about 3 years before, I thought it was got to appreciate what time your health is such an important thing, and we always kind of neglect your health. So luckily I had a friend who had just joined a fitness group, so and the trainer was a friend of theirs, and it was his first he just started personal training, so he was just looking for a group of friends to see,
to practice on.
Yeah, to practice on. Yeah, and I joined the group, and probably after the first session I was very, very sore, and I didn't know if I was going to go back, but I decided to stick with it, and so I probably reached my goal weight, which was 75 kilograms in December last year. So and that was through a lot of exercise. So 3 days a week I would attend a group fitness session with my friends and the trainer, and I think the group atmosphere really helped, just because we were all friends, and he's
motivating each other.
Yeah,
Samoan trainer, personal trainer.
And the other girls were they were Pacific Islanders, so one Tongan, a Samoan girl, some girls from Vanuatu. So it was a good group of, and I felt, because we were all Pacific Islanders, it felt easier to keep going and keep motivating yourself, and there's always that little bit of competitiveness, when you and so along with the exercise, I realized I couldn't keep eating the same way. I did a lot of research into what the best ways to lose weight and keep the weight off, and a lot of it is it's about your diet. I think we love food. It's Samoan. I love food. I still love food. So it's just I had to change the way I ate. So I started eating less.
So change the quantity?
Yes, the quantity, and so...
How about the quality?
Yes, and the quality as well. So I had to give up. I gave up soft drink. That was the worst thing. I used to drink Coke all the time. So gave up Coke. So that was a hard one. And also probably things like fried food, like chips. I love
so sugary.
Yeah, and sugar.
And,
sugar and fat. Some fatty foods, yeah. But I think just also eating a lot more vegetables and fruit, which I love vegetables now, so it's very good. And but I still have, occasionally I'll have fish and chips, or or a donut or something, but just making sure that that's, a treat, every now and then, but not all the time, yeah. So just changing my attitude towards food, before, kind of reward yourself with food all the time, but finding other ways to reward yourself, maybe buying a dress, or, instead of going and buying a Big Mac because you're happy, you go and buy, a hair clip or something, just other ways to, not, making food, using food so much as
do you feel within yourself now?
I feel
Having lost that much weight.
I feel very, very good. I'm happy because I'm healthier. I think...
Your doctor happy?
Yes, very happy. Yeah, so, I mean, it's good. I also feel it's good now because I can shop wherever I want. Before, you know, you have to go and... I used to shop by size, so you go and you look at things and you kind of, oh, you know, they don't have my size, I can't buy that, you know. But so that's an added bonus. But I think a lot of it is the just feeling fitter and healthier and just feeling better, you know, a lot less tired. You know, and just when I go to do something, I didn't even realize I used to walk up the driveway and get out of breath, you know. Whereas now I can run up the driveway. And it's nice being able to do things that I was so limited before, but I didn't realize it until I lost the weight. You know, I was quite happy where I was, but now I'm on this side of it. I feel a lot better about myself and about just about what I can do and the things. Yeah.
Very enabling. Huh?
Very enabling. Yeah.
Of all the exercises in the gym, which is your favorite?
My favorite one is probably sit-ups.
Sit-ups.
Yeah, I enjoy doing that. You know, the sit-ups, and there's all the different variations. So just working on your core, which is important because your core supports your whole body. So if you have a strong core, then you have better posture. You can move a lot better. So we also do a lot of boxing, which is fun as well, just getting in the bed, getting active. Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask about the gym as to
Oh,
where it is?
Yeah, so the gym that I go to is called Red Line. It's called Red Line Fitness. It's in New Lynn. So it's just on New North Road in New Lynn. And my trainer is Adam Felix. So
Adam Felix and Samoan.
He's Samoan. Yes, he's half Samoan. But I feel that they have a very nice atmosphere there. So not so many treadmills and things like that. It's more of an open plan gym where you a lot of like body weight exercises, free weights, kettlebells. So just a different way of training as opposed to aerobics and so it's good though because the best thing about Adam is that he always changes our workout. So we work out 3 times a week and it can get very monotonous if you do the same routine, but he always changes it and adds something different. And because he's always we're kind of experimenting with us because we're his first group, it's we always do something new and different, so it's good. Very.
What can you say to us older ones about losing weight?
It's
because my pet hate about losing weight is the first thing that goes is my cheeks.
Yes.
They look gaunt and
I think I think a lot of, especially as you get older, it's not so much about the weight but about being active.
Tony.
So like you said, if you lose your weight too fast, you can you lose it in your face and because the elasticity of your skin isn't great, so it's a lot of I know my mum is kind of a bit worried about that, but I think if just staying active, so even just going for a walk every day or and just like making the right choices with your food, you might not lose the weight but you'll gain the mobility and the fitness. So sometimes it's not really about weight, more about being active and just keeping up with your grandchildren and your children, which is always nice.
Natalia, thank you so much for your time and for such important information. I'm sure our audience, our Malae audience, not only appreciate your generosity in shaving the hair for such a worthy cause, but I'm also appreciate the learning from what you just talked to us about.
Thank you.
After telling
Awesome.
God bless.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah.